Okay, here we are. This is lesson 8 of drawing the NASCAR number 13 car. And yesterday you saw that we had finished the front wheel and tire, and now we're working on the rear tire. I haven't worked on the wheel yet, just the tire. So this is starting from ground zero so you can actually see what we're doing instead of like the other one where I did most of it off camera. I told you I would do this one so that you could see how the work is being done. Again, it's just a series of dots, and this is speeded up 4 times, so it's not exactly like it looks like otherwise, but you see the kind of grainy pattern that it makes, and it also makes it pretty easy to get inside in the little tiny places. So uh, it is very subtle, and it works very well for this kind of thing, especially the small details, rather than trying to do lines or hatching or cross hatching or something like that in little tiny places. So trying to do this as well as I can here. You can see I'm working on it kind of at an angle this time too, because I'm working on the rear and I'm right-handed. So every time I push on my drawing board, you can see it kind of distorts it a little bit, but it doesn't obviously alter the drawing any. It just makes it look a little weird. Normally when I look at it, the camera is straight off perpendicular to the drawing board, so you don't see that effect very much, but here you do because it's being shot at an angle. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm sitting way over to the right hand side and trying to keep my head out of the camera so that you can get a good view of what we're doing. Okay, getting down to it now. And here I am going around the lettering, the Goodyear Eagle lettering on the tires, so that it looks legitimate, so it looks like the real tires. But I also have to make sure that that I can get in there, and some of these spaces are incredibly tiny too. Luckily I have the smallest technical pen I can get my hands on, and it makes it a lot easier to get in there to work on little things like that, small details. Anyway, you can see it's starting to come along. You can start to see the Goodyear on it. But that also does, because it's the color of the paper behind it, what I'm having to do is make it fairly dark like the front one is, so that you'll be able to read something that's no lighter than the color of the paper itself. So in order to do that, I have to have a very big difference between the paper and the amount of ink that's on the paper. So in this case, I'm putting an awful lot of ink on those tires in order to make them so that you can read the emblems and such. But it's coming along great. When we get that part of it done, I think it's going to really start to look like a car. Then most of the stuff we're going to have to do after this is the rear wheel. I'm still going to have to do the shading on the tire, which of course that's essential, just like the front one. And then beyond that, there are some details that are going to have to go in the rear quarter window, just over where it says Chevrolet there. And also there's going to be a full shadow underneath the car that's virtually as long as the car itself. So that will also make the car stand out better, and it'll make it look a lot cooler. So we're getting closer though. And then after I do all of that, of course, then we're going to have one last go round on it. We'll do the final run through and make sure that everything shows up well on it, and that everything is as dark as it should be relative to the other parts. Here I am, I'm going and putting in the shadow that's inside the wheel well. And what this is going to do, just like it did up front, it will showcase and accentuate the tire itself, so it makes it look better. Anyway, getting down toward the end of this for today, but you can see the dark. I'm leaving just a little tiny edge inside of there of the fender itself and the edge of the tire itself too, so you can see that those are 3 separate pieces in there, the shadow and all of that. Anyway, all done for today. I hope to see you back here tomorrow. We'll finish this up and see you then. Bye.